There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone. Hello everyone and welcome to SyFy Talk on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the SyFy channel. I'm Sean, Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve, and tonight we'll be discussing episode 9 of season 1 of Vagrant Queen.
Oh my gosh, it just keeps ramping up.
Oh, yes, it did.
And I still love all the slow-mos because it's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so last episode, which was our Clue episode, which I hope everybody had a chance to watch Clue, especially since it was on streaming services. I don't know if that was done on purpose or not, but that's awesome. So,
yes.
What were our ratings for that episode?
Well, it brought in a 0.04 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.155 million viewers, making it the 122nd rated cable show for the day.
Well, it's still holding on, even though it's got a crappy time slot.
Right.
Well, let's jump in and talk about episode 9, which sucks because that means there's only one more episode left.
Right.
So, episode 9, All Old Things Must Pass. Part 1. The team arrives on Areopa to take down Lazaro. A face from the past unexpectedly returns. Okay, so that last scene, is that who I thought it was?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Is it? Wait. So maybe the intelligence was actual, just the location was wrong. I mean, we're seeing the person. So the person who gave that information to the monarchists.
Yeah, the loyalists.
They weren't wrong.
Maybe.
So, interesting. All right, let's start with some flashbacks.
Yeah, we get Lazaro's backstory here.
I was like, what? What just happened? 22 years ago, and I'm sitting here looking at him going, how old is he then?
Yeah, he's got to be a teenager.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how old he's supposed to be now, because I'm like, wait a minute.
He's a little older than in his, well, let's see, say if he was 16, he'd be 36, 38. Yeah, maybe I could buy that.
Maybe.
Well,
we get 22 years ago. We have young Lazaro sneaking in the front door. Okay, that's not exactly sneaking in.
No,
just saying.
Not.
And his mother's a little upset. She's like, if your father catches you, you'll be in trouble. And I can't constantly cover for you. And of course, moms, your father thinks you'll be a great leader. It's like, really? Because I don't think he thinks I'm more than a dog that needs to be beaten. And he shows his arm, which had some burn marks on it. It's like, wow, did you not know? Or is that just, I'm going to play it off like this is just dad teaching him.
It kind of gave me that feeling was that, she wasn't going to stand up to her husband.
And it's interesting because she's like, your father's in the library. So I wasn't sure if she was sending him to the library or having him avoid the library.
Right. She was sending him to the library.
Oh, okay. I was kind of iffy on that.
Right.
And she's like, but I need you at the party to save me from the Duchess. And he's like, fine. And we see him at the party and he grabs a drink and Mom's like,
Yeah.
Really?
Like that was really going to happen.
Yeah. And I was really surprised because we do find out that he's protesting the monarchy and he was really showing his ass basically at this party because he meets Frances and the Duchess who has stories about her husband and his father. And he's like, oh, really? You mean before they became complacent of the actions of the monarchy? It's like, oh,
yeah.
Dude, are you trying to get your ass beat? That's all I'm thinking.
Exactly.
It's like, you're a future marquis. And I'm like, I still don't know what that means.
No.
So I'm like, I don't know where that falls in the lines of royalty.
Right.
And I love that his dad then is like, don't make me choose between you and the monarchy.
Right.
Lose every time. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not good. That's all I have to say.
No, that isn't good at all.
And then we suddenly have somebody decide to tap him on the shoulder. It's like, we've been watching you for some time. It's like, what? Now, was that the same guy married to the Duchess?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, no,
I didn't think
it wasn't.
So, though.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Turns out this guy is probably a little high up in the revolution. And when he tells Lazaro, you're not alone in your disdain. Why fight alone? It's like, oh, great. Got that fish on the hook pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
And then we see 15 years ago. And I'm like, okay, so he changed a lot in 7 years.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, people do, but I'm like, he changed a lot. And every time I look at him, because the way they had his hair, that wig, I'm like, he looks like Pat Monahan from Train. Never gonna watch Train again. The same. But we see them at Aldaya's coronation, Lazaro and his family, and some other people that I'm like, huh, interesting.
Yeah.
All these people here. Guess nobody thought anything about it. His mother makes a comment about Aldaya being so young. And I don't know if his father's like trying to be like, shut up. Because it's just like, yeah, it's an honor to be invited. It's like, yeah, it's an honor. But doesn't mean she's not young.
Yeah. Oh, the Queen Mother will teach her well.
That may or may not be good.
Yeah.
And Lazaro is like, oh, I have to go talk to some dignitaries and show them around. Because we see our unknown person.
Right.
And Reichel across the aisle. And I'm just like, okay, I just feel like Reichel is bad news.
Absolutely.
And the more you see in this episode, the less sorry I feel for her.
Right.
Especially with what's coming, which we'll get there in a sec, of course. But
right.
We see a meeting of the revolutionary leaders. And I love it because they're like, well, we didn't expect this to happen. And how can we fight? And how can we have our plans go into effect? And da-da-da. And he's like, listen, the palace is in disarray due to the king's death, which I'm wondering if it was a natural death, because I'm just saying, Aldaya's mom does not seem real broken up.
Right. No, it was, I believe the revolution was the ones that killed the father.
Really? Because I thought they were talking about how his death threw a wrench in their plans.
No, I think the coronation of appointing Aldaya the queen was what put the damper on their plans.
That was it. Oh, okay. But yeah, Lazaro's like, listen, everything's in disarray. Things are changing. So you know what? Now is the time to storm the palace. And I love it because Reichel's like, what are you talking about? You're going to get all of our people killed. We've been planning this for, what did you say, 2 decades or something?
Yeah, for decades.
And I'm like, but maybe, unfortunately, if you're trying this, Lazaro is right. But Lazaro, of course, is all ideology here. He's like, the people be able to rule themselves. And Reichel's like, well, with some guidance, of course.
Yeah.
It's like,
that should have been a red flag to Lazaro from the start.
Right? When he's like, you stupid child. No.
Yeah.
I'm like, uh-oh. But he manages to storm the palace, and he takes control. Yep. And I'm saying this because I'm like, well, you didn't have everybody behind you. How did you get all these people to do this? So I was a little surprised. But obviously, we know that this happened. But we also get information that a shuttle's launched from the West Wing, and they see Aldaya and her mom inside. And Lazaro, all soap opera dramatic, I will find you.
Yeah.
And then he's like, round up all of the monarchists. Tomorrow they will be facing justice. I'm like, okay. I just really felt like this was very telenovela. So bring it down a notch, Lazaro.
He doesn't know how to bring it down a notch.
But interesting when we see the uprising happen, because I feel like he did a lot more than the rest of them did. Oh,
absolutely. And no wonder he was so pissed that he only became a commander instead of an admiral.
And then I feel like what we see after this, during the judgment, it's even worse. Like, he's the one doing everything. And you have these admirals, I guess, sitting there, like, passing judgment. But he is the one who's like, yes, I'm all gung-ho. This is how it should be. And they're just kind of sitting there like, yes, let them eat cake kind of thing.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, well, these two pled guilty. It's like, fine. Their punishment is life. Well, that's fair. And you wouldn't want the alternative anyway. It's like, okay, creeper.
Yeah.
But then next it's his father, which you knew damn well no matter what was going to happen, he was going to kill his dad.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Which obviously his father pleads not guilty. And Lazaro's like, all things must pass, as he cuts off his head. And then it's like, okay, bring on the next person. And I was just thinking, they didn't say a name or anything. This is probably bad.
Yep. And they wouldn't have brought out both his father and mother together like the previous couple. They had to do it separately so they could play Lazaro like a fiddle in this situation.
Oh, my gosh. And when his mom comes out and he's like, wait, what? We didn't talk about this.
Right.
And they're like, she's a loyalist. Hello. He's like, no. She was led astray. They're like, well, let her plead guilty. And I'm just looking at Reichel going, you know what? I no longer feel sorry for anything that happened to you.
No. Because she was dirty as a dog.
Enjoying it. Especially when he's like, she can be on our side. It's like, oh, are you putting your emotions over what has to happen for the people? Because there's consequences.
Yeah.
And just the way she's saying all this, I'm like, you know what? I really, really don't feel sorry for you now.
Yeah. You're just as slimy as all the other politicians.
Right. And Lazaro's like, well, you know, please guilty. You know, we can make this work later. And she's just like, my only mistake is failing my son. And of course, she's sentenced to death and he has to carry it out. So he's like not looking at her, but he ends up cutting her head off. And I'm just thinking, holy crap. Because one of those admirals, the one that recruited him, basically is like, all old things must pass. Like, you literally created this monster.
Right.
Like,
and he officially became a monster in that moment.
Yes. And you can just see the way his face changed. And at that point, they should have all been scared out of their mind.
Yes.
But, I mean, we don't get to see them, like, look at each other. Because I feel like they probably did that. Oh, crap. We messed this one up.
Yeah.
But, you know what? I'm wondering how many people he took out from their families without them knowing. Because I feel like that would have been something that he would have done.
Well, to tell you the truth, I think from that point on is when they basically put him on a ship and sent him away.
Oh, because they knew.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys messed up so bad.
Right. And that they never really went after him for anything until the very end. And it ended up being too late.
Yeah. You don't create a monster and let him be free for 15 years doing whatever.
Right.
And then think, maybe we should try to bring this back and bring it down a notch. That ain't going to happen.
No.
We do get to see the Areopa Palace Prison, which is pretty dark and dank and gross looking, basically. And we see a loyalist taken from his cell and a couple guards who are very scared. And I love it because the loyalist is like, hey, what happened to your friend? Or something like that. And he's like, you broke his neck. It's like, oh, did I? As he grabs
I didn't like the way he looked at me.
Right. As he grabs him in a headlock and he's like, I'm going to take pleasure shoving your head up his. And then like all of a sudden we see like a shot come through him. I'm like, what the hell? And it's Lazaro using a new awesome laser weapon, like a laser spear.
Right.
That is getting its power from the steer set. I'm like, crap.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that they hadn't gotten that far yet.
But he's already had that armor that had the Sturzod in it, so yeah, it's
I was going to say that armor
geared up pretty quick.
Where did that come from?
Yeah,
and that's when you get to see him like, oh yeah, this is great. And he's like, and is my ship ready? As he looks to our other serologist who was the one that was captured, 2 episodes back?
Yep.
She's like, it'll be ready for your inauguration. I'm like, crap. I was hoping she was able to avoid stuff. I mean, she looks pretty messed up. So maybe she has been able to avoid some of the mind control.
Right.
Or maybe just enough that she can, I don't know, cause the whole thing to blow up with him. I don't know. I'm hoping for something.
Yeah, I haven't given up on her yet either.
So we see the finishing touches being put on the palace, and I love how they just throw in a little bit of, like, random humor here and there.
Yes.
So we have, like, 2 guards trying to put up one of the flags. It's like, it's upside down. Well, that's how it came. We'll turn it back the right way. And I'm just thinking, we're painting the roses red. It's like, this all random stuff is happening. And then Lazaro going to
Monty Python.
Yeah. Lazaro going to visit Reichel, and I'm like, oh, crap. And she just looks like she's going batshit crazy.
Yeah. I'm sure the thing in her head making her cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because she's trying to fight it, but yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like he just keeps adding on every time he goes. And I'm like,
absolutely. He does.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, well, basically you failed and you were just another long line of failures. But you know what? I'm going to make it all right. I made the mistake of putting my faith in the wrong people because I was young. But now I'm going to right all the wrongs. And I'm just thinking, famous last words of people who've gone off the deep end, I'm sure.
Yes.
And you just see Reichel laughing and, like, hysterical, like, attitude coming from her. And I'm like, she's going to die. Is he, like, having her laugh herself to death or something? And then when he says, oh, if mother could see this, and then the whole, all old things must pass. I'm like, oh my God, please stop. This is, like, freaking me out at this point.
Right.
I mean, we didn't have Lazaro last episode, so we had to get, like, a crap ton of him this episode, obviously.
Yep.
Because we get to see him welcoming the leaders from all around the galaxy. It's like, you guys are stupid.
Yeah.
That's how I kept thinking. Like, did you really think it would be all sunshine and lollipops? I mean, what was going through your head? And you can see as his speech goes on how they start looking a little nervous.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, most of you know me as Commander, title given by the petty Republic. But they were just as morally corrupt as the last. That's not going to happen anymore. And at that point, you kind of see the shifting a little bit, like, okay.
Yep, here it comes.
Yeah, where's he going with this? And that's early on in the speech.
Yeah, he wasted no time getting there, that's for sure.
Right? He's like, this day, this is going to be the day. And I'm like, uh-oh, that power is handed back to the people. And he says that, and then they really start going, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, they're not close enough to each other to start whispering, going, what's he talking about? But you know that's exactly what's going through their mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, because leaders have to make sacrifices for the whole instead of the individual. And I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah,
this is not going to end well for the leaders.
No. Your people have starved as you feasted. You've had the whips cracked on their backs, and their spirits have crumbled from your endless lies and betrayal and corruption. And I love it because they're showing, like, satellite of people, like, in bars and all together. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Those people even changed their mind really quick when things went pear-shaped.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like, listen, leaders, for all of you who are guilty of the crimes I just mentioned, stand and face your people. And of course, that's the steer's head saying, stand up, because you suck. Because you see the ones trying not to stand?
Yes.
And it's like, oh, okay. Well, now you need to face the consequences. And he has them all kill themselves. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is it like a TikTok video? What is happening?
Yeah.
Because it's like replaying, going back and forth. And everybody in the crowd is freaking out. The people who are watching their TVs from home are really freaking out, which
right.
I was really surprised that all those people were like, oh my God. And I'm sorry, but those leaders should have been nervous a long time ago.
Yeah, they should have not accepted his invitation to begin with. No. There was just a bloody coup. That's not the time you pay that planet a visit.
Right. And I was so mad because Alita, like, had a shot, but there was a guard that was kind of in the way, but she's not paying attention because of everything that's going on. And Lazaro gets away. I'm like, whoa, Lita, Alita, what are you doing? Yeah, you know things were going to get bad, but I don't know. Shoot twice really fast. The guard will go down.
Right.
That's all I'm thinking. Sorry. I guess.
Yeah, get shots off. They may have hit the guard, but at least try.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And Lazaro is just enjoying this because he goes down to Reichel's cell to gloat. And he's like, your corruption is all through the galaxy. So I need to clean that up. But why stop there? I can fix everything through time and space. Listen, you're not a Time Lord, even though those headpieces you had all those prisoners wear earlier look very Time Lord-ish.
Yes.
But what are you doing? It's like, okay, this is going like crazy Empire right now.
Yes. We're talking a mass suicidal maniac.
Yes. And he's like, I'm going to have to leave Areopa for a while, but I'm so glad you survived to see this. Well, mostly. Because we see Reichel had committed suicide.
Right.
It's like, oh, you lasted longer than I thought, but at least you had some company. And that's when the camera pans, and I'm like, wait, who is that? Because the way the sun is like shining into the cell.
Yeah, very little, but yes. You couldn't tell when it first turned, and you still couldn't tell up until the very end because, of course, he shaved her head and
has like
she had this mask thing on. Yeah, it wasn't real easy to tell who that was, but it definitely was the Queen Mother.
I was just like, what?
Yeah.
I was not expecting that at all.
No.
Like, I thought, okay, she was dead. Alita had to deal with that a couple episodes back. That was it. I couldn't believe that this is where we are.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see what transpires in the last episode when Alita does get her mother back.
Right. Oh my gosh. So like before we even got here and we had our crew land on Areopa, Ame wants Winnie B to send a message to her brother. And Winnie's like, oh, do you want to call him? No. He'll talk me out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that's kind of sweet. But at the same time, it's like, oh man, because Alita hears her and she's like, oh, hey, Alita, what's up? I'm like, oh, let's just play this off. Like, no big deal. It's like, oh, I wish your return home was under better circumstances. But at this point, it's like, okay, everybody knows what's what.
Right.
So they seem to be in pretty good spirits, which surprises me, except Isaac, who is hungover as all get out. And he doesn't remember the space spider. How do you not remember the spider that
exactly
eggs that in your head? Like, how did that not sober your ass up really fast? Or did you get more drunk after the fact? You're like, you know what? I don't even want to remember this.
Right. I'm going to kill as many memory brain cells as I can.
Although he does remember the Loyalists are planning on bombing the city. Which
was the last thing.
It's like, okay, well, at least you remembered something. It's like, all right, well, let's get going. And when we see them, like, getting into the city, I love it. They keep saying, are you sure? Are you sure you don't want us to go with you? Are you sure? I mean, obviously, she doesn't want them close because she doesn't know that Lazaro has this extra boosting thing happening.
Right. Yeah, she just figures that if Lazaro gets his mind control on them, they're gone.
Right.
And she doesn't want to take that chance. And I don't blame her.
And you see, like, all these parties going on in the city, and you're like, ugh. Because you see Make Areopa Great Again. Like, nice. Well played.
Yeah.
Well played.
Well played, Jim.
Yes. And Alita's like, this would be easier if everyone wasn't under his spell. And then we actually see some protesters. Not many, but there was some protesters. So it's like, okay, so not everyone is, like, all gung-ho, which is probably better because of what the hell just happened at the end of this.
Right.
And Ame is like, what would you have done if you were queen? And she's like, I'd leave you in charge. And basically saying, I will run off and have my adventures and you can take care of everything. Much like you do on the ship.
And then May goes, oh, hell no.
Right. It's like, no, I don't think so. I love Isaac is like, hey guys. It's like, what are you doing? He's wearing a hat and it's like, I'm blending
a mask
in. It's like, no, stop. But we see somebody following them and I'm like, oh great. Who's this guy? A bounty hunter or something? And they turn down an alley and she snags the guy. That guy really sucked at hiding.
Oh, absolutely.
He was turns. Yeah.
He was terrible at being a follower, that's for sure. Tailing somebody is not his expertise.
And we find out that this guy was working for Terrence, who wasn't happy about Alita not completing the last job. Now, I kind of feel like she could have been like, I'm in the process of doing it. I'm on Areopa. That's where I needed to be. It's like, listen, I'll just give you back the money. The ship's back where it was. And she's like, no. My client was expecting the delivery, and I have to hand you over as collateral. Well, who are the clients? Oh, it's the spiders. Oh, yeah, the ones that wanted to skin Isaac originally.
Yes.
How does everybody know they want to skin Isaac? What is up with that?
I don't know. Guess it's a way to transform yourself into something you're not, so you don't look so suspicious. I don't know.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
But they're being taken away at gunpoint, and Amay's like, you guys have a version of Stun and Run without any guns? Like, got a machete? What? No. But as they pass some vendors, Alita grabs some colored, I don't know, like dust or sand or something, and slams it into the guy's head. And you have all this colored, like, stuff, like, being thrown in the air. It reminds me a lot of, and I do not remember the name, but that one holiday in India where they kind of do that, where they're throwing all the colors all around. And it's like, that's really cool looking. It was a really great visual, and they were able to get away because of it. Well, to a point, anyway.
Yeah.
Then they get captured again. And Terrence is like, you know what? That was my best man. It's hard to find a really good scab. It's like...
The scab you can trust,
right?
yeah.
Like, well, you know what? Since they only want to skin him, there's no need for him to be alive. I'm like, ugh. And right when Alita jumps in front of Isaac, it's like, no, you can't do this. And shots ring out. And I love it because they're all closing their eyes. And they're like, wait, we're not dead. What happened?
Yeah. It's not us.
Well, no, it's the Loyalists, led by Volan. It's like, oh, hey, thanks. Why are you here?
Yeah.
It's like, nearly every leader in the galaxy's here, and Lazaro must be stopped, and what are you doing here? Well, hello, that's my plan, to stop Lazaro. But why are you here? Because if plan is still to bomb the hell out of the city, why are you actually here? And Volan's like, they have prisoners. Loyalist prisoners, we need to get them out if we can. Okay. Well, you know what? We were going to split up with Alita anyway. So Amay's like, we'll go with you and help you out. And I knew something had to be up when Amay, like, looks at the gun on the ground.
Right.
But it's like it doesn't come into play for a little bit.
Yeah.
And we do have them talking. It's like, okay, listen, you can't get on the grounds without tickets. And you don't have tickets because they're sold out. But I have these tickets, because Isaac's waving them in the face, for 20,000 credits each. And they give him the credits. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. And that's how Isaac goes, oh my God.
It's like, I should have asked for more.
And May tries to keep a straight face, and so does Alita, and it's hard.
And, okay, the plan is to get on the grounds and go through the secret passage that Alita remembers. And so Isaac is the distraction. Oh my gosh. With his big hat and the crazy glasses and a giant map. He's walking up to his two guards. He's like, hey, where's this viewing spot? They're like, you're in the wrong place. Oh, can you just point me where it is? As he turns and he's covering their face, which is probably really easy to cover because they got really crappy viewing out of those helmets.
Right.
And they're like, no. He's like, well, can I get a picture with you guys? Because you're awesome. He's like, no. And it's like, oh, all right. And he puts down the map, and there's Alita and May ready to take out the guards pretty quick. Well, should have let him have a picture. Maybe you would have still been alive. Meh. And I love it when they go to try to find the secret passage. And she's like, listen, I'm trying to find it. Give me a minute. It was when I was 7. And we see a guard had come around to hide so he can go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And Amay didn't have to do anything, but she like sticks her head out, sees him, and then shoots the guy because he starts to jump up. And nice visual, guys. I think we all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I love it though. Isaac's like, where'd you get that gun? She's like, I stole it. And Isaac's like, I'm so proud. We do get the secret tunnel opened, and it turns out it's the sewer.
Yeah, it's been turned into the sewer.
Yeah, all of the steam coming up. It's like, ugh. That's gross. And as they're walking, I love Alina and Isaac are both trying not to throw up. And each one's like, don't do it. No, yeah. To the other. And Nolan's like, well, I don't understand. Amay's like, do you not smell that? It smells horrible. It's like, I don't smell anything odd. It's like, okay, let's not go to his house.
Remind me not to go to his house.
And surprisingly, yeah, Isaac's like, you missed your chance for a one-liner. And she's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, nice recovery.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, wait a minute. Did we get a one-liner in this? Because we almost always get a one-liner. I don't think we did this episode.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Did we? What did I miss? What many things did I miss? Probably, because this was right with one-liner.
Yeah, we got one with Alita and Terrence.
Oh, I must have told
that she messed up.
Oh. Yeah, okay, I remember. When they get down to the split, they're like, all right, listen, we're going this way to go get the prisoners. You go up, try to get Lazaro, but we're not going to be in contact because the communication device just will not work. So Isaac's like, give him hell, oh, and gives her a hug. And Alita and Amay kind of hold hands for a second. Amay's like, you can still leave. She's like, yeah, no, I can't because I can't. But you know what? At my funeral, because if I don't make it out, you just tell everyone it was your fault, okay? But I loved it because we had that little moment. It was like, okay, that was sweet. And May starts to say, be careful. And she's like, you're going to say, be careful, aren't you? She's like, no. And they start to kind of walk. And Volan's like, we got to go. And Isaac's like, give him a minute. It's like, dude, stop. And May stopped Alita as she was walking away and kisses her. And Alita's like, really? Our first kiss, we're covered in crap in a sewer. And May's like, couldn't pass up such a romantic story. It's like, aw, that was sweet.
Yeah.
And gross.
At the same time.
We have the one crew make it to the containment cells. And of course, fight starts. And I'm like, okay, there's like 2 guards. Why didn't 2 people shoot at one time to take them out?
Yeah.
Instead, no, we're going to shoot one and the other one's going to call for help. Well, duh. And Alita is upstairs making her way to, I don't know, a high point, a vantage point?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, she wanted to get up high to where she could see down and get a clear shot.
But Isaac, I love Isaac, really. He's like, oh, my gun is fully charged. And he's like, yeah, I did it. He's like, oh, I thought maybe I did it this time.
No, Isaac, you didn't.
No. Sorry, buddy. And of course, more guards show up and Volan is like, we're trapped. And May's like, you know what? I got this. Because there's some adjustments that have been done to her weapon now. And cover me. It's like, what? She shoots explosives. And we have our slow-mo 3D moment. And she gets hit in the chest. And I'm like, oh my god, no, she's going to die.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, of course, she just kissed Alita. Now she's going to die. Horrible things, right?
Right, of course.
But
so many sci-fi shows that we watch have done this to us.
May. She managed to get her weapon to shoot the explosive that attached to the wall and takes out the guards. And Isaac rushes out to her and she's like, help me. And he's like, yes, everything will be okay. Just stay with me. And I'm like, okay, I don't see anything oozing out of her. And she starts to unzip her top and she's like, help me get this thing off. And he's like, oh, you had a vest. Did you steal this too? I'm so proud. It's like, oh, she's turning into a petty thief. Yay. But you know what? It saved her life. I'm thinking what a lot of people are probably thinking. Why are you taking that off, though?
Yeah, I wouldn't lose that just yet.
And when this little group gets to the prisoners and everyone's being released, and we see the Duchess from earlier, and she's like, oh, you did it. And they're like, wait, but what about your husband? And she just shakes her head. And he's like, this seems too good to be true.
Yeah, Isaac definitely thinks this is too easy.
It's like, yeah, Isaac, I thought there'd be more guards. And all of a sudden the Duchess runs back. There's another level. He's like, of course there is.
Yeah.
Because it just wouldn't be that easy. I knew it.
Right.
And I'm thinking, how does she know there's another level? Is she setting them up for something? What's happening?
Right.
But
yeah, well, they weren't with the first loyalist prisoner we saw, that's for sure, because he was by himself. So
I figured that was like solitary or something, since he was all crazy and still beating the crap out of people 22 years later or whatever. I'm like thinking to myself, is this going to be good? Are they going to be able to free the scientist or the serologist? Is that what's down there? Is there something else? where the hell is Lazaro? Because you have Alita, who wasn't able to make the shot because of the guard, like I said earlier. And she's like, great, I'm screwed because I don't know where he went because she was staring at the leaders killing themselves instead of watching Lazaro, who has lost the podium.
Well, she was trying to call Isaac, too, and that didn't go through.
Did you forget what Volan said?
Yeah.
So great. Volan has the prisoners go to the sewers. He's like, get out. We'll meet you back at the ship. And May's like, we're with you. I'm like, I'm with Isaac. Yeah. It's just too easy. And that worries me.
Oh, absolutely. And Volan's, all his people are getting the prisoners out. So it's 3 against the rest of the guard that's going to be down there.
Not feeling it.
And the scientists making these awesome weapons.
Right. Because we haven't seen Lazaro use that spear on anybody other than that test subject.
Right.
So this is really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, this last episode is going to have me all stressed out.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, what do you guys think? Let us know. Shoot us an email at syfytalk@fangirlzone.com. You can go to the website and find all the different ways to contact us on the contact page. And in case you can't remember this, it's a lot easier that way. Fangirlzone.com, contacts page. And you can click on any of those and shoot us your thoughts on the show. And while you're at it, if you can rate and review us on iTunes and every other platform you find us on, because good ratings and reviews help other fans find the show. And we hope you're telling your friends about the show, because this is such a good show. It's so fun. And we, of course, hope you're enjoying the podcast. So let us know your thoughts on all of it. And for this episode of Sci-Fi Talk, I am Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. Nothing I haven't heard before, Butterpop.
Close enough. And until next time.